Tornado and your Tuscaloosa Pioneers. Let's welcome tonight's players. First round starters for King. Number 2, Chloe Harmon. Number 6, Sophia Badgett. Number 7, Kathy Skinner. Number 8, Kaylee Holtzclaw. Number 10, Angela Budemont. Number 11, Remy Field. Number 12, Megan Orlock. Number 16, Rick Humphreys. Number 21, Tristan Lozano. The starters for King, a sophomore from Louisville, Texas. Number 3, Becca Huddleston. A sophomore from West Columbia, South Carolina. Number 4, Sydney Pikachu. A sophomore from Leesburg, Florida. Number 5, Victoria Goss. A sophomore from Kingsport, Tennessee. Number 13, Emma Carrico. A junior from Clarksville, Tennessee. Number 15, Abby Anderson. A sophomore from Harrison, Tennessee. Number 20, Rebecca Hill. A Barrows, a senior from Moore, Oklahoma. Number 1, Amy Sorosky. Head coach of the Tornadoes, David Gorge. And now, let's welcome your 2017 Tuscaloosa Pioneers. Tonight's starters, number 3, Alyssa Rojas. Number 6, Audrey Hopkins. Number 14, Max Schwinger. Number 15, Hannah Dexter. Number 18, Eric Carmody. Number 21, Gracie Peters. And number 22, Brittany Whited. The starters for the Pioneers tonight is senior from Newcastle, Indiana. Number 1, Larissa Welch. A senior from Canton, North Carolina. Number 2, Mariah Lewis. A senior from Tinley, North Carolina. Number 4, Shannon Murphy. A junior from Horseshoe, North Carolina. Number 7, Cassie Moore. A senior from Louisville, Kentucky. Number 12, Sabrina Schluger. A senior from Princeton, Virginia. Number 17, Kaylee White. And Laverne Whitaker from Chicago, Illinois. Number 14, Alyssa Mazer. And coach of Pioneers, Chief Michael Robinson. Assistant coach Ashley Hempsteele. Graduate assistant is Sunny McTeach. And the assistant athletic trainer is Jan T. Ladies and gentlemen, this time, Tuscaloosa College Athletics Department respectfully asks that you please stand and remove your hats as we honor America and playing the Ballard National Anthem. This athletic conference is no institution to promote this sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting participants and officials in a positive manner. For offending wish or sexist comments like intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, and team representatives will not be tolerated in international radio arena. We thank you for your support of Tuscaloosa Athletics and this athletic conference.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chris Cochran. I'll be with you for this game. We've got the Tuscaloosa Pioneers versus the King Tornado. Pioneers are 9-5, with the Tornado are 6-7. It's now 7:06 p.m. and we're ready to get this first set underway. Tonight's game, it's also a coat drive. If you bring a new or slightly used coat, you get it for free. And thank you for joining us tonight. Wish you could be here in person, but we're appreciative that you tuned in online. Next Pioneer home game is until October 20th against Lenore Ryan. After this game tonight, the Pioneers go on a 6-game streak going away. The next game on the 6th at Anderson. So Shannon Murphy will start off this game with the serve. A senior from Tinley Park, Illinois. Been quite successful this season so far. And the first serve of the game goes out of bounds. That'll be a point for Tornado. As number 7's coming in for number 20. Kathy Scaniff. Nice serve there by number 3, Becca Huddleston. Outside set. Blocked by the Pioneers, but passed back up by Weiss and hit over. Tornado dump. Setter number 15, Abby Anderson, dumped the ball over. Seeing that open spot in the court, she saw it and took advantage of it. So Huddleston will serve again now for the Tornado. The high spinning jump serve coming very close to the baseline actually with that front foot. Outside set to Weiss, out of bounds. Score is now 3-0 for Tornado. As Huddleston has that hard serve. It goes into the net that time. The only thing with those jump spin serves is that they are very effective when they're accurate, but it's also very hard to get accuracy with those. Higher you toss the ball, the less chance you have of hitting it square. And a serve now by Cassie Bourne. And that serve won't be passed up, so that'll be a point for the Pioneers. They'll get their second point of the night. The score is now 2-3. Cassie Bourne, a junior from Horseshoe, North Carolina. A hard float serve into the net. Be another point for Tornado. Number 5 for Tornado now coming in the game, Victoria Goss. Is a middle attacker. As number 1, Amy Sorowski comes out. She's a libero. And that back row attack by Huddleston will go out of bounds. It'll be a point for the Pioneers. Now Sorowski will come back. Get ready for serve reception as 14, Melissa Mazer gets ready to serve for Pioneers. High float serve there, face pass by Huddleston. Tipped over the block. Schluger with the roll shot, off the hands. But number 4, Sydney Pagage. We're now tied at 4. Lower serve by Mazer that time. Right side set. Dug by Weiss. Attacked by Weiss. Outside set. Number 7, Kathy Scaniff. Hits it into the block, but it comes back over. Back row attack by Huddleston there. The middle set there to number 1, Larissa Welch. More of a shoot set there to the left of the block. And she'll hit that out of bounds. Just unable to get enough quick topspin on that. Substitution for Tornado. Now coming in number 21, Tristan Lozano. Serving now number 15, Abby Anderson. Into the net that goes. Another point for the Pioneers. Number 15, Kaylee Dempster will come into the game. And Weiss, number 17, will join her team on the sidelines. Kaylee Dempster, a sophomore from Floyd Knobs, Indiana. And that serve will go out of bounds as well. Not too often do you see that from Dempster, as she's frequently coming into the game actually for the back row, and usually starts with service. Has been very consistent so far this season with her serves actually. Kathy Scaniff with the serve for Tornado. And that ball by Dempster will go over the net, but out of bounds by about a foot. I think she was trying to create an outside set to Sabrina Schluger there, but just went a little too far. Scaniff with another jump serve, floating a lot, and actually floated downward a lot there towards the end. It appeared as though it was going to go out of bounds, but just dove there at the last second and nicked the line. Short serve taken by Mazer. Murphy set to Schluger. Through the block. Scaniff tried to pass it up. Couldn't get there in time. The Pioneers will take that point. Number 20, Rebecca Hill coming in the game now. She's back row for Tornado. Sabrina Schluger will serve. Shannon Murphy, the setter for the Pioneers, is front row. Right side attack for the Tornadoes, but the set was too low. Victoria Goss couldn't do much with it. Low sets are tough to deal with because you can't really tip it, or else most of the time it's going to be called as a lift. You just got to put your two fingers out and make two knuckles and kind of punch the ball over the net. But obviously in the heat of the moment, you know, everything's going so fast you don't necessarily think about it at the time. Now serving number 1, Amy Sorosky. Murphy to Bourne over the block, actually. Outside set now. More of a roll shot. And Murphy forearm pass to Bourne again. And she'll hit that ball inbounds, just in the corner of the back right side of the court. Actually hits right into the referee, the lines judge, but I guess that's exactly what you want to see. You don't want to see a lines judge jumping out of the way. You want him to stand there, hold the ground, and watch the ball. Outside set. Excuse me, that was a middle set. It was just a shoot set. Cassie Bourne hits it off the block, but it will stay on that side of the court and hit the ground. It'll be a point for the Pioneers. Score's now tied at 9. Pretty intense so far. It's just scores going right back and forth, it seems like. Welch will get another opportunity to serve now. So serve to Huddleston, who pass it up. Welch with the pass. Murphy with the dump. Huddleston saw it coming, and she passed it up. The Pioneers will get a free ball now. Well, Lewis taking that. And another attack by Murphy, actually. That's the advantage of having a left-handed setter, especially in the front row. When she sees that coming up, no blockers up, going up with her, she can jump up. That's just a free attack. No blockers is exactly perfect situation. Welch with a beautiful float serve. Set to Huddleston. That's a hard attack that goes off the shoulder of Schluger. Bounces off the wall, actually. And the Pioneers just let it just watch it hit the ground, but you can actually play the ball off the wall. The wall and the Jumbotron are inbounds. So Tristan Lozano will serve for the Tornado now. Passed up by Schluger. Middle attack to Lewis, and no block is up there with her. Huddleston was late getting there. She saw Lewis coming in hot, but couldn't quite get her arms up there in time. Now coming in for the Tornado, number 4, Sydney Pigage. Shannon Murphy with the serve. Pigage passed. And Lewis will jump up with that set. Doesn't quite stay on their side of the court, and she'll put it right back. And the Pioneers just doing what they can. Absolutely slamming the ball, as you saw. A strong hit by Mariah Lewis, and then by Weiss. You can see Melissa Mazer there questioning the call of the referee, thinking it could have been a double touch. Now you see Shannon Murphy talking. She's the captain on the court. Now the referee will talk to the other referee and discuss. And it's a good thing they discussed it, actually, because the call was overturned. It's a point for the Pioneers. The way they ruled it, actually, was a back row attack. in the front row. Passed up by Bigedge. Very strong block there by the Pioneers as Huddleston goes up to hit the ball. Even though the Pioneers never came in contact during the block with the ball. Just two big figures going up there with the ball is enough to intimidate the attacker. As you can see there, Huddleston tried to go around the block and ended up hitting it out of bounds. Good job of Weiss seeing the tip there and keeping her arms stretched up to see that. Free ball given to the Pioneers. Murphy to Lewis in middle, she'll tip it. Pioneers get a roll shot here. Outside set to Weiss, to Bourne. Passed up, outside set here to Huddleston. Down the line, out of bounds. Coming within inches of the Pioneer block. Almost grazed their hands actually for the Tornado point, but luckily for the Pioneers, they stayed out of trouble there. Came up with the point. And now winning 14-10, Murphy with another serve. And set it for the Tornado, number 15, Abby Anderson. Tried to dump the ball there. They seem to get more hands than fingers on the ball. And we'll get a timeout break now. We'll be right back with you in just a few moments.
Tusculum College is Tennessee's first college. Established in 1794, Tusculum's beautiful campus is nestled in the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains, where students from all around the world have found a home. Tusculum can help you pioneer your path to success. Visit online for more information at tusculum.edu or call 423-636-7300 and discover the Pioneer experience for yourself.
Served by Shannon Murphy. Set to Huddleston. Doesn't go over the net. And number 15, Abby Anderson, trying to help out her attacker and poke the ball over the net, but it ends up being the fourth touch. Float serve by Murphy. Back row attack, Rebecca Hill. Now Lewis hits into the block. Extremely scrappy by the Pioneers, just barely nicking the ball, getting it over the net. Now Murphy with the right side attack, set to Weiss. Lewis passing out. Weiss with another opportunity, hits it over the block. Pioneers are doing everything they can at the moment to scrounge up everything. Just get the job done, put the ball back over the net. And Cassie Bourne there will get a little too aggressive, it seems like, and she'll hit that ball out of bounds. Bourne coming in a little too soon for the attack. Ends up hitting the ball a little too far behind her. Sending the ball upwards instead of down and out of bounds. Number 3, Huddleston now serving again with the tall spinning jump serve. Outside set to Bourne. Off the block and on the Tornado side of the court for a point Pioneers. We're now 17-11. Now Bourne will serve again. Pioneer setter Shannon Murphy now in the back row. Good news for Tornado. Bourne with the serve, passed up by Huddleston. Outside set. Off the block of Pioneers. And then dumped by Emma Carrico. That'll be out of bounds. That'll be a point for Tornado. Emma Carrico now serving for Tornado. Seemed as though that ball was going literally right for Sabrina Schluger. But Melissa Mazer getting a little too eager, wanting the ball potentially a little bit too much. She'll jump in front of Schluger. Pass to Schluger. Murphy, back to Schluger, outside. And Huddleston will dive, but couldn't get there in time. That's an advantage of stacking your their serve reception the way the Pioneers do. They'll have front row attackers passing a serve in the back row. So it's convenient there for Schluger to pass the ball to Murphy, and then the ball go right back to Schluger for the attack. Number 5, Victoria Goss, goes to tip the ball and then kind of slips over the ball, and that ball goes over the net but out of bounds. Point for the Pioneers. Number 14, Mazer gets to serve again. It was 19-13 for the Pioneers. Serve goes to Huddleston, but that's shanked off her arms. Timeout now for the King Tornadoes. We'll join you again after this break.
The first date. Only one chance to make that first impression. Don't worry, this might be new for you, but Ingles has been there before. From flowers to the freshest ingredients, we have everything you need to put your best foot forward.
I'm so sorry.
Remember, you can't get to happily ever after without once upon a time.
Wow, funny running into
Ingles, all the ingredients for family.
After that timeout break, Mazer with a serve, high float serve, passed up by Huddleston. Outside set. Over the block, passed up by Murphy with the face pass. Schluger to the left of the block. Huddleston passing the ball up. Sorowski putting the ball back over for free ball of Pioneers. Murphy with a shoot set to middle, Larissa Welch. Dug up by a Tornado, over the net. Kaylee Weiss diving for the ball, but ball goes the opposite direction she had hoped for, and Tornado gets the point. 21, Tristan Lozano coming in for Tornado. As Abby Anderson serves. Right side to Weiss. Off the block and out of bounds. Kathy Scaniff showing her frustration as she knew as soon as the ball went off the forearms that it would be out of bounds. And 15, Kaylee Dempster coming in to serve now. Scored 21-14 for the Pioneers. Hard serve, passed up by Sorowski. Attacked by Lozano. Free ball given by Dempster. Murphy right side to Welch. Good dig by Huddleston. Outside attack. Murphy to Schluger. Through the block, passed up by Huddleston once again. Back row, Huddleston, as she does a soft roll shot, hoping to get Mazer on her heels, but Mazer passed it up. Good rally here by both teams. Here comes that strong attack by Murphy. And Anderson will attempt to dump the ball, but it'll go too far out of bounds. That big rally seemed as though it took 2 minutes. Scores 22-14. As Kaylee Dempster gets ready to serve now. She'll serve to Sorowski. And that attack will go right to number 4, Shannon Murphy. And she'll try to face pass that, but it was too much force behind that hit. The ball doesn't really go that far off her hands. Serving Scaniff for Tornado. That's stopped by Dempster. Murphy to Welsh. Great job with communication between the setter and the attacker there. Both knowing exactly what's coming. Number 12, Sabrina Schluger, gets ready to serve now. A senior from Louisville, Kentucky. Float serve. Passed up by Hill. Murphy to Mazer. Outside to Bourne. Off the hands of the blockers. But Rebecca Hill lays out and can't get there in time. Another point for the Pioneers as they'll make it to game point. 24-15 now. Schluger always has a good short serve in her back pocket when she needs it. And she'll use it that time to take the W in this set. Best of 5 game. So the Pioneers are up one set to 0. And we'll move on to the second set here in a couple minutes. Teams will switch sides of the courts and discuss lineups and strategies. We'll be right back with you after this break. Thank you.
The Tusculum experience is 20 sports, one team, striving for excellence. The Tusculum experience offers state-of-the-art facilities for practice and game days. If you seek a championship atmosphere, the Tusculum experience is for you. Visit online through TusculumPioneers.com. Call 423-636-7300 to discover the Pioneer experience for yourself.
Ladies and gentlemen, after a first set, it went by pretty fast actually. The win taken by the Pioneers in this best of 5 game. Pioneers libero had 2 digs that last game. But has a whopping 324 on the season. Very strong attack by Cassie Bourne, but passed back over by Tornado, causing the Pioneers to scramble a little bit. I don't think they anticipated that ball being a kill. Right side to Weiss. Tipped. The lines judge said it went off the block. Good point for the Pioneers. Excuse me. It was a point for the Pioneers, but then the referee saw that it went off the block, according to the lines judge, and that'll be a point for Tornado. At number 4, Sydney Pagage serves to Bourne. Pass by Murphy to Lewis. Tipped. Back row attack by Hill. Murphy outside to Bourne. Whistle blown. That'll be a Tornado point. A double touch of the Pioneers. Served now by Pagage once again. Tornado off to a good start this game, winning 2-0 thus far. Outside set to Bourne. Just to the left of the block, and she'll take the point home for the Pioneers. As no defenders were even close to passing that ball. Cassie Bourne, an authoritative attacker on the Pioneer side of the court all season long. Cassie Bourne with 176 kills on the season has been an actual force. No matter where she is in the court, she'll be very comfortable hitting back row as well. Weiss with the attack, an absolute kill. Going up against one blocker as they did that tandem play. Middle attacker Mariah Lewis going behind Shannon Murphy. And Kaylee Weiss coming in front of her as that tandem is also called as an X. Middle set. Seems to be a new setter for Tornado this game, Sophia Bajet. Huddleston with the serve. Passed up by Bourne. Close to the net. Murphy making a good play, though. Setting it to Schluger, and she'll do a roll shot. Outside set of the Tornado. Blocked by the Pioneers. Kathy Scaniff just couldn't quite get the ball over the net. Melissa Mazer serving for the Pioneers now. The score is tied 3-3. Serve to Sorosky. Back row by Huddleston. Face pass by Mazer. Back row dump by Murphy. She is back row setter at the moment, so she has to do that kind of dump if she wants to. She won't be able to leave her feet as long as she's back row. Decent crowd here tonight in Pioneer Arena. There isn't a current theme for tonight's game, however, it is a coat drive. So fans got in free tonight if they brought a new or slightly used coat. Pioneers put the ball over the net on that play, but it went out of bounds. And it wasn't their third touch. 14, Melissa Mazer could have run on the other side of the court and brought the ball back over. As long as it didn't go through the antenna, it still has to stay outside of the antenna. And a roll shot given to the Pioneers, but a little softer than what Cassie Bourne was expecting. And that ball will catch her on her heels. She stretched out as far as she could, but still couldn't reach. Served by Emma Carrico. A hard attack by Larissa Welch. Off the block, but still lands in bounds. Kaylee Dempster will come in to serve now for Kaylee Weiss. Dempster now doing her pre-serve routine, hitting the ball a couple times. She'll serve to Sorosky. And the ball's going to be put back over the side of the court. But Dempster dives, couldn't get there. Well, serving the setter, number 6, Sophia Bajet. Dempster with the serve. Murphy outside to Schluger. Strong attack and an immense amount of topspin there. Back row by Huddleston. Passed up by Mazer. Murphy to Welch. Off the tornado block, and that'll be a point for the Pioneers. Now coming into the game, number 13, Madison Shoemaker. Hasn't seen a lot of playing time this year so far. She did get in the last game against Coker. A poor decision there on Sorosky as the ball was clearly going out of bounds. But nonetheless, the rally continues and the game, the point isn't over yet. They can still get the point, and as they did there with the tip, just landing right on the line, the Tornado will take that point and take the lead 7-6. Now serving number 7, Kathy Scaniff, a junior from Lorton, Virginia. Here's the tip by Shannon Murphy. Right side attack by Tristan Lozano. And Tornado doing everything they can. Sophia Badgett actually laying out, even though it was not much of a chance, to be honest. But you always like to see that extra effort given, because honestly, sometimes you never know, and it might work out in your favor. There's the Welch, hard serve to the Tornado. Huddleston, cross-court attack, passed up by Schluger. Now Dempster, pass and roll shot by Shoemaker. Tornado attack, Shoemaker late, getting up on the block. Shoemaker's going to need to be aware of the attacker she's facing up against. Something you don't see quite often there either. Kaylee Dempster with the shank on the serve reception. Usually very consistent with her forehand passes. Serve there by Sorosky, just barely goes over the net. Actually, it might have landed before the attack line. Sorosky now with the serve. Senior from Moore, Oklahoma. Murphy, the back row set to Schluger. Just to the left of the block. 13, Emma Carrico did a good job of timing that and being prepared for the back row attack. But didn't quite get the destination right, as she was just to her left of the attack, and the ball literally goes right over the net. Probably would have been a successful block if it was lined up properly. Now serving number 4, Shannon Murphy. The consistent serves always. Attack by Huddleston, an absolute wall. Blocked by Mariah Lewis and Kaylee Wise. Sometimes you get those pairs and you get the good communication. You just know each other when you're both going to go up at the same time. And as soon as you get that block or connection, you can be pretty much unstoppable as long as you're constantly communicating. Middle set through the block of Mariah Lewis. And that will come back to haunt her as she'll get blocked herself. Another Tornado point as number 4, Cindy Begaj, comes into the game. For 21, Tristan Lozano. Begaj, a sophomore from West Columbia, South Carolina. Quite active in this game thus far. Murphy outside set to Shoemaker. That'll be a point for the Pioneers. Very strong attack, actually. A lot of topspin on that attack, and you can hear the ball slap against her hand. Well, serving Cassie Bourne has been battling a knee injury. Not exactly sure what it is specifically, but she's had that tape around her knee for quite a number of weeks now. Weisjud calls that ball out of bounds. Tornado disagrees. 4, Sydney Pagaj, pointing to the other line's judge. As if the other line judge could see that better than the one on this side of the court. Nonetheless, Pioneers will keep the point. Score's tied 11-11. And Cassie Bourne will serve that ball out of bounds for Tornado point. Now coming to the game for Tornado, number 7, Kathy Scaniff. And joining her team on the sidelines is number 20, Rebecca Hill. Serving now is Huddleston. She got that tall, jumping spin serve. Set to Mariah Lewis, right side. Dump, passed up by Mazer, right side to Wise. Roll shot. Huddleston lays out, goes off her arms. And you can see number 20, Rebecca Hill, trying to play that ball even though she's not in the game. Perhaps the ref wouldn't have noticed. It's quite funny. It's good to see good sense of humor in this tight game. Mazer, good serve, passed up by Swarovski. Murphy, good dig. Bourne gets it up, and then Mazer puts it over the net. Right side attack. Emma Carrico came out of nowhere, it seemed like, for the right side attack. She'll serve now, and she'll keep the momentum, and she'll bring that to the back court. Score's now 13-12. Back row attack by Bourne. The jet back row serve. And Huddleston does that unintentionally, I believe. But she was trying to do a back row attack, and that ball hits the top of her hand. Doesn't actually hit her palm, but more so her fingers. And you could hear just the sound of it, just more of a dull slap than a hard attack. And the ball just barely grazes over the net and lands right in front of Pioneer defense. Whistle blown there. Number 6, it seems like, a Tornado was on the net. Sophia Badgett was on the net there, so that'll be a point for the Pioneers. So we're now 13-14. 15, Kaylee Dempster will now serve. Badgett, right side. New point for the Tornado. Badgett now serving. The freshman from Nashville, Tennessee. Murphy with the middle attack to Welch. Swarovski tries to dig that ball, but the ball hits the ground, the court, and the Pioneers will take that point. Now coming back into the game, number 13, Madison Shoemaker. Sabrina Schluger serving now. Score 14-15. Badgett, outside set, whistle blown, Pioneer point. That'll be a double touch on Badgett. Not too often you see a double touch on setters. Usually setters have the best hands in the court, but it does happen nonetheless. Score will now tied 15-15. Right side attack. Passed up by Schluger. Dumped by Murphy, but the ball doesn't go quite over the net. You can see the open palm of Murphy indicating that she wanted the ball to go behind her. Behind her to the right to go over the net where nobody was. And it just didn't quite happen the way she intended it to, and the ball stays on that side of the court for a Tornado point. Another strong attack by Shoemaker, having quite the game. In Shoemaker's last game against Coker, she didn't see much success with the attacks. Could have been just the blocks for Coker were that impressive. But Shoemaker obviously stepping up her game today. Has had a couple strong attacks already. Pass by Dempster, set to Lewis. Huddleston with the attack. Outside set to Shoemaker. Face pass by Tornado. Huddleston with the attack. And Schluger with the tomahawk pass, almost with two hands going up, passing the ball with her palms. Good opportunity here for the Pioneers to set up a good play. Lewis with the attack. Right side now to Lozano. Murphy to Shoemaker. And that'll be inbounds again. And Shoemaker will get another kill for the Pioneers. Taking the score to 17-16. Pioneers now taking the lead. Shoemaker has had a direct influence in that thus far with a number of kills. And continues. Marissa Welch now serves. As Bajet scrambles with the tornado. As Goss was in the way. Shoemaker another attack. That'll be a point for the Pioneers once again. We're now 18-16. Welch with another serve. Outside set to Huddleston. Strong attack, pass up by Schluger. Back row for Dempster. Strong attack. Great dig by Welch. Good opportunity for Shoemaker. Hits it off the hands of the tornado block. And miscommunication there between Badgett and Goss. Right side attack by Lozano. Off of Schluger, and the tornado will take that point. Nothing to be ashamed of for both teams. That was a good rally and a lot of good volleyball demonstrated by both teams. Sometimes you just don't come out on top, and that's volleyball. Dempster with the serve goes over the net, giving the tornado a free ball. Hit down the line as Huddleston recognized the line is open from the block. Dempster was in the correct position. It was just such a hard attack. A little too high as well, hitting her in the upper bicep region, making it extremely hard to give an accurate pass. Dempster doing a good job there, keeping the feet moving. Is that floating serve. Murphy with that strong attack. Whistle blown, Pioneer point. That'll be a double touch for Tornado. Substitution now for the Pioneers as Dempster comes out and Weiss enters. Timeout now for the Tornado. The score is 19-18. You definitely feel the momentum changing, although this game has been very close so far. I feel like either team is about to go on a tear with a couple points in a row. Stay tuned and we'll find out after the break.
The challenges facing the country never stop. So neither does the U.S. Army. We train, adapt, and get smarter. Every soldier, every unit, every day. Not to keep up with change, but to drive it. Nobody knows what problems tomorrow will bring, but we do know who will solve them.
Welcome back after that timeout break. Now we get number 4, Shannon Murphy, serving for the Pioneers. Strong attack by Huddleston. Blocked by Lewis and then passed by Lewis. And that attack by Shoemaker will go to bounds. Served by Piagge. Back row attack by Schluger. Scrambling Tornado on that side of the court. Murphy to Mazer. Good set, considering it was a forearm pass. Once again scrambling for the Tornado. Mazer again with the serve, with the set. Since Shannon Murphy took the first ball. And Mariah Lewis will go up with Carrico, and Lewis will come out on top there with the net battle. And number 7, Cassie Bourne will serve for the Pioneers now. He scores 20-19. Outside set to Huddleston once again. Tip. Murphy's in the correct position. She sees it. Right side to Weiss. Roll shot. Nowhere near. Kaylee Weiss has such a strong left-handed attack that the Tornado were sitting on their heels waiting for it. Kaylee Weiss, a smart attacker, sees that and roll shots so it lands right in front. So as though a tip, but it's more disguised. Passed up by Swarovski. Set to middle. And lines judge calls that out of bounds. Tornado obviously disagreeing with that call. Another timeout break. The score is now coming to 22-19. Only 3 points potentially left in this match. We'll see how it plays. We're right back with you. Thank you.
The first date. Only one chance to make that first impression. Don't worry, this might be new for you, but Ingalls has been there before. From flowers to the freshest ingredients, we have everything you need to put your best foot forward.
I'm so sorry.
Remember, you can't get to happily ever after without once upon a time.
Wow, funny running into
Ingalls, all the ingredients for family.
Now serving for the Pioneers, number 7, Cassie Bourne. Serve to Swarovski. Middle set. Carrico tries to tip it over the net, but it just goes right into the net. It seemed as though it went off the block, but evidently not, as the Tornado were called for a 4th touch. Cassie Bourne, once again, serving out of bounds. Just not getting that dive on the float serve as she had hoped. And that's not because she's hitting the ball too hard. It's the way she's pointing the ball before she hits it, causing the ball to float up instead of down. I want to point that knob of the ball where they inflate it forward. Point it a little bit down. Get that air friction. And a point for the Pioneers as the Tornado hit that ball out of bounds. Score's now 24-20. We are once again at game point. Melissa Mazer serving for the Pioneers now. Standing far back in the court. Good 20 feet back from the baseline. She'll serve. That ball will hit the right side of her hand. Not her palm, but more of her wrist, and that ball will go right into the net. It's the only situation in volleyball where you're in total control of the game is when you're serving. Now coming in for the first time, number 10, Angela Budavong. Mazer Murphy to Schluger. And the Pioneers will keep playing that point. The referee doesn't think it hit the net. Thinks it, the referee thought that it went off the Tornado block, and the Pioneers kept on playing it. Tornado players obviously upset, thinking that it should have been a 4th touch. But nonetheless, there are 25 points in the set, and Pioneers reached it first. The Pioneers are up 2-0 on this best-of-5 game. We'll come back here for the 3rd set coming up in just a couple moments, as teams will discuss lines and strategy. We'll have a commercial break for you here, and we'll be back in just a minute.
The Tusculum experience is 20 sports, one team, striving for excellence. The Tusculum experience offers state-of-the-art facilities for practice and game days. If you seek a championship atmosphere, the Tusculum experience is for you. Visit online through TusculumPioneers.com. Call 423-636-7300 to discover the Pioneer experience for yourself.
So much of life these days is rushing around from one place to another. Sometimes you just want to enjoy the journey on the way to the destination. And part of what makes it a little more enjoyable is an appreciation for the folks who help you get there. At Ingalls, we know that the people who send you on your way are the same ones who keep you coming back.
I think you should take it for a spin. Are you serious?
Ingalls, all the ingredients for family. The first date. Only one chance to make that first impression. Don't worry, this might be new for you, but Ingalls has been there before. From flowers to the freshest ingredients, we have everything you need to put your best foot forward.
I'm so sorry.
Remember, you can't get to happily ever after without once upon a time.
Wow, it's funny running into
Ingalls, all the ingredients for family.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just tuning in now, thank you for joining us here at Pioneer Arena. Wish you could be here in person. However, we are appreciative that you're joining in online. The Pioneers are up 2-0 in this best-of-5 game. As the Pioneers have yet to give up a set to King Tornado. So this could be the final set if the Pioneers win, but if not, it will be going to a fourth. We shall see how these games, shall see how this set plays out. See if King University Tornado have a little bit more spunk this set, as they're aware there's a little bit more left to lose. Now serving for the Pioneers to start off the third set is number 4, Shannon Murphy. She'll serve to Swarovski, set by Bajet, right side. Kathy Hotsclaw hits into the block. It'll be a point for the Pioneers. Swarovski and Lewis jumps up as that pass reception was very close to the net. Riley Lewis taking full advantage of that and jumping up right away and putting the ball right back down. And the Pioneers already have 2 points. Seems as though there's been rallies in previous sets today that have taken longer than these 2 points combined. Somehow the Pioneers have managed to get these 2 points in a timely fashion. Back row attack by Schluger into the net, and Tornado will get the first point of the set. And now serving, number 7, Kathy Scaniff. An outside hitter, junior from Lorton, Virginia, graduate of South County High School. She'll serve to Cassie Bourne. Set by Murphy, right side to Weiss. Absolutely no block in the vicinity of Weiss. And Weiss will hit it down the line, but a foot away from the baseline. Strong attack. She'll take the point for the Pioneers. King University haven't quite taken a look at Kaylee Weiss, it seems as though. As Kaylee Weiss very comfortable with hitting down the line this game so far. In fact, I think most of her hits have been down the line. And their blockers are still set up for cross-court attacks. I think they're going to need to make that adjustment if they want to see some success this set. And the Pioneers will take another point. With now 4-1. Number 7, Cassie Bourne gets ready to serve. Cassie Bourne serves. And that attack will go over the net, but the Pioneers block it. Keep it up, keep it alive. The Jet now sets right side to Lozano. Good dig by Bourne on the Pioneer side of the court, and the Pioneers will take another point. Some good volleyball there in that rally. Score's now 5-1. Cassie Bourne will serve once again. Junior from Horseshoe, North Carolina, has been serving quite a bit, it seems as though today. Just the way it's been going with the rotations. And Cassie Bourne has served it out of bounds a couple times today, but that serve is an ace as the Tornado just watch it hit the ground. Tornado's very comfortable with calling serves of Bourne out of bounds. So I think if it's anywhere close, they're just going to take the risk and call it out. Still early here in the third set. Bourne now, pass to Murphy. And Kaylee Weiss will come to middle, and she'll tip that as Swarovski lays out but can't get there. Be a point for the Pioneers once again. Cassie Bourne, a harder serve that time. Outside attack by Huddleston. Bad jet again to Huddleston. Off the net, excuse me, and rolls over. Easy ball for Pioneers as Schluger jumps up. Hits it over the block. Originally awarded a point for the Tornado, but Schluger you could see saying no, like the ball went off the block. And the other ref overrules. It would be a point for the Pioneers. Usually called by the lines judge. You don't see that quite often coming from the net. That's that attack by Huddleston. Hard block by Lewis and Weiss, but it doesn't go back over the net. Weiss and Lewis have been working well together thus far. But that block, they just couldn't quite press their fingers enough to get that downward angle over the net. Swarovski with the serve now for Tornado. Passed up by Mazer. Murphy to Lewis, tipped. Blocked by Tornado, and then passed back up by Lewis. Doing a good job of realizing once you attack the ball or tip the ball, the point isn't over until it hits the ground. So we saw Lewis there doing a good job of hitting the ball and keeping her eyes up to be aware of what's going on. And being able to punch that ball back up. Now coming into the game. Number 15, Kaylee Dempster. Coming out, Cassie Bourne. Mazer now with the serve. Serve that to Swarovski. Set by Badgett. And Lozano will roll shot that. Now outside set to Schluger through the block. Dug up by Rebecca Hill. And then Huddleston will hit that out of bounds on an outside set. We'll have a timeout here for Tornado as the score is now 10-2. Tornado's really going to have to reevaluate their strategy and find a way to develop some momentum. We'll be right back with you after this break.
Tusculum College is Tennessee's first college. Established in 1794, Tusculum's beautiful campus is nestled in the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains, where students from all around the world have found a home. Tusculum can help you pioneer your path to success. Visit online for more information at tusculum.edu or call 423-636-7300 and discover the Pioneer experience for yourself.
This season, Melissa Mazer, the libero for the Pioneers, has been an absolute force in the back row with extreme amount of digs. Actually, top 3 in the SAC conference at the moment. But last set, she had 9 digs. For both sets. So thus far today in this game, she's had 9 digs, which is the most on the Pioneers. While Becca Huddleston had 11. So Mazer not having a bad game, but just not being as involved as she usually is, and to no fault of her own. You can only pass the ball if the ball goes towards you. Strong attack by Weiss as Rebecca Hill lays out, but couldn't get there in time. Alyssa Rojas coming into the game now and serving for the Pioneers. And Pioneer setter is front row. Along with Tornado setter, as you saw there, that dump. Badgett with the backside set. Right side goes off the block of Welch and Schluger. But it doesn't go back over the net, it stays on the Pioneer side of the court. Somehow Becca Huddleston will now serve again. Substitution now, Rebecca Hill coming out of the game, and Kathy Scanick coming in for her in the front row. Huddleston with that strong serve, extremely underrated in volleyball, in my opinion. A lot of people say the front spin serves are easy to serve, you just got to worry about them going down. The top spin just forces them to sink. I think they're extremely effective for that reason. Especially if you have enough accuracy to place where you want, you can really put someone on their heels as they watch the ball land in front of them. And then the other argument for float serves is that float serves are a lot more harder to pass. Of course, because of the unpredictability. I think the best combination there for a server is to have both of them in your back pocket, because obviously different circumstances call for different strategies. We'll have number 12, Sabrina Schluger, at the short serve there. Passed up by Swarovski. Outside set, blocked by Welch and Murphy. And Schluger dives there, trying to pass the ball with one arm. Kaylee Hotzclaw coming back into the game in the front row as the libero joins the team on the sideline. Emma Carrico serves to Rojas. And a strong attack by Welch. An even better pass by Pagach. And a whistle blown, that's a point for the Pioneers. Larissa Welch now serving for the Pioneers, scores 13-7. So the Pioneers do have a decent lead, but the Tornado have fought back quite a bit, as they were down by 8 at one point, and now only down by 5. 6. Swarovski sets to outside. Lewis goes up for an attack, goes off the hands of the blocker, spins, making it hard for Huddleston to dig it, but nonetheless she does. Another set to Lewis, tipped. Passed up by Scaniff. Middle attack, tipped by Hotzclaw. A little miscommunication there between Hotzclaw and the setter, Badgett. Another point for the Pioneers, score now 14-7, as Larissa Welch will serve again. That serve floating a great deal as Huddleston practically dives for that serve reception. Strong attack by Shoemaker. Outside. Scaniff hits the ball into the net for a Pioneer point. A good time for the coach of the King University Tornado, Dave Ulrich. Call a timeout right now, in my opinion. You can clearly see the attitude of the Tornado going down as they're getting frustrated with themselves. Times like this, you really need to Stop the bleeding where you can. Slow things down and regroup. Otherwise, the Pioneers right now will just keep using this momentum to their advantage. And they'll just continue to get point after point. It's exactly what you're seeing at the moment. Substitution or timeout, anything to just throw off the timing of the game, slow things down. Good job there by Jet to understand that her attackers weren't necessarily getting the job done, so she puts the ball over there on the net. She'll serve the ball herself now, take the game into her control. Tristan Lozano back in the game in the front row. Pioneers have a front row setter and the Tornado have a back row setter at the moment. Both in the 5-1 offense. Huddleston doing a good job of playing that ball. The forearm pass with her back literally turned to the court. Still able to create a good pass. A skilled play there. Something you don't see too often from a sophomore. Badgett now serving again for the Tornado. Face pass by Rojas. Murphy outside to Shoemaker. Off the block and out of bounds. Point for the Pioneers. The Pioneers have regained some momentum, it seems like. So they will see if they can string together some points here. As court captain, number 4, Shannon Murphy, gets ready to serve. Head coach Dave Ulrich for King realizes the situation at hand. Pioneers only 8 points away from game set point. So we will join you back here in a couple of moments. Thank you.
The Tusculum experience is 20 sports, one team, striving for excellence. The Tusculum experience offers state-of-the-art facilities for practice and game days. If you seek a championship atmosphere, the Tusculum experience is for you. Visit online through TusculumPioneers.com. Call 423-636-7300 to discover the Pioneer experience for yourself.
Pioneers now ready before King Tornado. Pioneers now standing on the court ready in anticipation. As number 4, Shannon Murphy, is anxious, waiting to serve, wanting to get this game going. And that buzzer will signify the end of the timeout. Shannon Murphy will serve now. Great serve, floating exponentially as it seems, going across the court. This good pass by Swarovski. That'll be a point for the Tornado. And we'll see if they can string some points together here. Now serving number 7, Kathy Scaniff. And we'll see. Score is now 10-17. So Tornado do have quite the deficit to come back from, but it is possible and has been done plenty of times. Serve reception by Schluger. Outside, middle set to Lewis. It's more of a shoot pass to throw off the blockers. It's been quite successful there. Murphy's in favor of the shoot set, as it is very similar to that of a quick set, but it is out, so the blockers are thrown off. Middle attack by Holtzclog was out of bounds. That'd be a point for the Pioneers. As Kaylee Dempster gets ready to serve now. Victoria Goss coming into the game for Holtzclaw. Holtzclaw. Dempster serves out of bounds. Maybe a point for Tornado. Amy Swarovski now serving for the Tornado. Pass by Dempster. Set to Wise. Strong attack, and Kaylee Wise will get a kill for that point. Putting the ball right between the block. And coming off on top to get the Pioneer point. Now 20-11. Now into the game, number 18, Aaron Carmody. A senior from Midlothian, Virginia. That'll be a point for the Pioneers. Love seeing Carmody on the court. Always positive energy. Everybody loves to see her play. Just a great person in general, always in a good mood, always nice to everybody around campus. Middle attack by Huddleston, tipped. Schluger with the attack off the block, rolls over onto their court. Right side attack now to Lozano, passed up by Mazer. Murphy to Schluger, over the block, off the hands. Swarovski now to Huddleston. Mazer dives, but couldn't get there in time. She was able to pass the ball up and keep it from hitting the ground, but it doesn't go in the correct direction. The Pioneer squad. Coming in number 4, Sydney Pagage. So Pagage will serve now to Dempster. Erin Carmody comes into the game and gets her first kill of the set, hitting it in the back left corner. Excellent job on her behalf. As number 3, Alyssa Rojas comes in the game now for 17, Kaylee Weiss. Scores now 22-12. Outside set to Huddleston. Huddleston forced to rethink her attack as the set wasn't exactly where she wanted it to. It seemed like it was a little too far out, closer to the antenna, so she was forced to cut the ball at the last second. Nonetheless, doing a good job. She was very athletic and was able to make that play. Now serving again, Rojas. She'll serve to Swarovski, who will face pass to Bajet. And then Carrico, the attack. Back row by Dempster. Blocked, and Dempster gives the Tornado a free ball. Mazer ready for that dump. Schluger with the hit. Gets to continue on that. And the roll shot by Pagage. Erin Carmody again with the kill. Erin Carmody playing exceptionally well this set so far. Short serve by Ross. Would have landed in front of the attack line. She was really quite good. Passed up by Schluger to Murphy. To Schluger again. Outside, blocked. Mazer passed it up again. Murphy goes back to Schluger. Roll shot. Scaniff lays out, keeps the ball alive. Erin Carmody again with the set, and she will take that home, and she'll get the kill to finish off the third set in this best-of-5 game. Erin Carmody will get the final kill of the game to bring the Pioneers off on top. Good game played by both teams. King University Tornado and the Tusculum College Pioneers. We welcome you to join us for our next home game, which is October 20th against Lona Orion. Pioneer Volleyball's next game is October 6th at Anderson. You can also see that game if you tune in online to Tusculum Sports. Thank you for joining us tonight, and we wish that you have a great night. Thank you.